Hello and welcome to another episode of my Macedonian campaign in Divide et Impera, the mod for Rome 2. It's been a long time since I filmed, but my life has been exceptionally busy. And I honestly just didn't have any time. Just working, grinding. Honestly, being tired the vast majority of the time, and a little bit stressed, but now I'm back to a more comfortable zone, and I'm happy to be putting out this video, putting out another episode of this campaign, for it has been on my mind. As I remember last time, we were expanding into Africa, and as we snuffed out the final remnants of Roman Republic, we've now brushed up against the Carthaginians, and I do covet their land. I believe that I no longer have any diplomatic penalty if I declare war on them. However, I am waiting to see whether, or rather, how we can get the best advantage when we do fight them. I have some armies to land on shore still, and I have this army, which I was kind of maneuvering around the desert ill-advisedly, to retain. There's another army over here that could still be retained. This province has to be stabilized. Our provinces all over our empire, some of which are new, could still be invested in. And I do remember that I was building up a much more stable upper-class population in Macedon, and kind of this attempt to make my militaries more powerful. Say, like with this cavalry building and stuff like this is on its way. So I'm kind of like trying to build up my military power while simultaneously expanding in Africa. And that's been my strategy in this campaign, and I sure hope that it works out, for enemies can be numerous. The Ptolemaic dynasty, they're likely to be at war with us. The Carthaginians, they are a potentially strong foe, especially in the naval department, although I don't particularly rate them all that highly in some other departments. For example, with our infantry, they'll most likely be hoplite based, and I think I'll be able to destroy them with my pikes easily. For allies, their Numidian allies are actually more likely to be more difficult to beat with my style of military, a Macedonian style military, just because all those light horsemen and those light javelin men will be kind of hard for my more heavily armored troops to outrun. It might get skirmished to death. It's a very strong tactic against pikes, but you definitely can't confront pikes with hoplites, and because of that, I really don't fear the Carthaginians. They always use their sacred bands as kind of their upper echelon, and I think that that'll prove like a decisive weakness against my men. The Ptolemies could be a stronger threat, but I'm confident I can win a, battle against a similar power. And let's try to get, the volume up a little bit. I do love the soundtrack in this game. I don't know why it's so quiet. But in any case, German conflicts broken out, a trading port. It's going to give us a little bit more wealth, but it's really not the most important thing. You can see that Carthaginian navy has kind of went away for now, although we still can't really land that army. We have this guy over here, right? He's gaining experience from the buildings in this area, so I'll just let that be. Set the navy over here to deal with Thracian pirates, and these pirates, we need to go track them down. Let's make this the first battle of the stream. Although, there we go. Absolutely no way to catch him. Not the way to never turn on that. Let's see. Didn't we have like two armies in Thrace, or is it just the one? One over here. Navy. Spies getting into the perfect place. See, this army can just kind of stand around. In fact, let's just go dig him in. This army is retaining steadily, so no need to really do anything with it. Nothing that we could do with that army, so let's keep them far apart. Looks like that's kind of like a roadblock whenever I touch that unit. And this army is kind of facing off against potential invaders from the east, so really mind them. In fact, perhaps I can go and make the army stay in this settlement. No, it's going to ruin public order a little bit, but I feel like we can take the hit. This army I wanted, or rather this spy, I wanted to go spy on these Pannonians, these Scordiki. They're kind of like a Dacian Celtic hybrid, and they're very powerful, so I definitely do fear their numerous armies pouring into Macedonia and Thrace, so it's good that we have two armies kind of into homeland, defending Greece, Macedonia, and Thrace from potential Celtic interventions, although we have far more armies going into Africa, since that's going to be kind of the hot point of our campaigning. Just wondering whether there's any armies I'm neglecting to move, just because I haven't played in a bit. I just want to make sure I'm using all of my resources, because I don't want an idle army that's a huge drain of money that I'm just not accounting for because of this naval thing. There's really no... Yeah, I mean, I don't think that there's a random army in the north here. Just kind of looking, because these flags, there's so many flags, and I'm like, what are we really looking at here? And let's look at our diplomatic allies. Pergamon's an ally, Lusitani, variety of Celts. We aren't really at war with anyone. We have a client state, the Democratia of Syracuse, which is fighting against one of my military allies, which is kind of funny, but whatever. Cilia and Oski, they are solid defensive allies, but not full-on military allies. And the Syracusans don't even want to trade with us, so they clearly are very, very, very wary and don't particularly want to deal with us. The Ptolemies, I think that they absolutely, they hate us. The Scordiki, they hate us a lot, but it looks like the Scordiki really aren't that strong. Perhaps they've been suffering in a war against their northern adversaries, the Germans, who knows? But regardless, we'll let another turn go, see what the Carthaginians are up to. They are messy with their navies. Ooh. Ptolemies and Carthaginians ripping each other to shreds. I love that. Let my enemies peck at each other like birds, weakening each other, and I'll go in for the kill. That's what I want to do. But neither are gonna weaken each other enough to make them easy to topple over enemies. I'm still gonna have to defeat them in battle quite soundly, and I'm not gonna have any type of alliances with factions that I'm likely to be at war with, and the Massilia are one of them. I hope that no one in Sicily wins that conflict. I just want Sicily to maintain some hostile status quo. And I don't really want to make alliances in this region. In fact, I actually want to make that top province a military province, so let's not do anything there. And let's play out the next turn. Child has died. Womp womp. I just thought to myself, what is the most insensitive thing I could possibly say? And I found it! Womp womp. Anyway, the fictional child has died, but not react to that to a real child. Just putting it out there, in case it's not clear. But, so let's get the navy over here. Let's go get this army onto land. It's got quite a bit of movement speed about it, and it looks like we can go and begin our war against the Carthaginians. For ultimately, they don't really have any troops nearby. Well, we don't want to go by that route, but let's go. Ooh, and even one of their allies ditches out. Okay, we have one. Oh, wait a minute. I think that both of their allies ditched out. Yeah, I'm not at war with either of those kingdoms. Score. That is awesome. Yeah, I'm going to make all sorts of agreements with them later in the turn, but let's go and start dismembering the Carthaginian Empire. March this army in. Yeah, they keep on taking casualties, but whatever. We'll march this army over here. Kind of keep them safe now. For this navy, are there any Carthaginian fleets that are going to need dealing with? Don't see any at the moment, so I'll kind of just keep this navy around. Yeah, Crete should be able to withstand any type of naval assault. That's a pretty strong garrison. Let's see, anything else significant? Okay, those settlements could probably use a bit of upgrading. At the very least, we can go and get this. Okay, I think in terms of like Africa stuff, we're kind of good. So much so that I'm kind of tempted to send this army kind of over here to face off against the Skordiki. Skordiki, do we have any alliances with like my allies? No, we're just at war with several of them. Yeah, I don't like where the Skordiki are, but we still kind of have a bit of a safeguard over here in northern Italy, I suppose. Although I could keep this army kind of to... Yeah, you know what? I have to have this one in Italia. I shouldn't have sailed it over. It's my mistake. Some people are going to die because of it, but whatever. I'll recover the population, but that was just a miss micro. Let's go ahead and just see whether there's any upgrades to do. Over here, I just don't think that I can withstand a Squalor Plus. Yeah, I don't want disease breaking out because of a little bit more income. Here, Magna Graecia is in great spirits. This is going to minus for public order, plus the banditry, which is 0, which is, like, great. We can withstand a squalor penalty. Let's go ahead and do it. Here, public order is not great, but it's not awful. But I think either way is going to be minus 4 public order, which I don't... Actually, this one's minus 2 public order. Squalor... Is it just, like, plus 2 squalor? Yeah. It's already plus 2 squalor, actually. It's, like, basically nothing. There you go. That's a good upgrade. Pulpadeva. Very good squalor. Minus food. The banditry will go up a little bit. Can we stand the squalor? The food. Stand the food. Public order. It's worth it. It's a ton of public order that we'll get. Alright, let's keep on going, boys. We got some good upgrades. Some pretty essential upgrades throughout our empire, strengthening it. I hope that status quo in Sicily maintains itself, and hopefully the Carthaginians don't get too strong. Hopefully they don't get too invasive. Because the more disorganized we are, the more of Africa we can seize. And I forgot to go take Thapsus. That was a blunder. Completely escaped my mind when I was upgrading stuff. But why would I besiege it for multiple turns? But you know what? Small mistake. I can take it at the beginning of this turn, and I will do it first thing for it. It's the most important. Undeniably so. I also definitely should make agreements with those Berber factions. Ooh, yeah, the status quo could not maintain itself. I kind of felt like Syracuse was going to get the edge. You know, very stronger faction than their Sicilian neighbors. At least other Greek power, like Panormus, I think. Yep. Okay. Well, at least it's not really significant problems. Some pretty good stuff. Cappadoca's gone. That's such an insignificant thing. But, okay, let's... +2 public order. Not very important upgrades. So that was the hero, and there was a noblewoman that increased in rank. From Macedonia. Plus tax. Minus banditry. There we go. Max level now. This guy's still not fully upgraded. That kind of sucks. Whatever. Yeah, we're sending this guy over to Northern. Wow, we have insane movement abilities. But yeah, we'll go ahead and just chill in a nice northern Italian city and kind of recuperate our men. And yeah, nothing built. A temple design thing. That was definitely philosophy, right? No, was that construction? Oh, okay, we now have level 4 towns. Oh, and also a plus population thing. That's kind of cool. Now, what would be the next best upgrade to get? I mean, this is pretty good. Ooh, I like the population growth on this one. Let's get that upgrade. Let's see whether Pella has maybe improved his population growth slightly. A little bit. I mean, the second class one, definitely. But yeah, let's not upgrade any more towns for now, because I just pushed some upgrades through that are going to lessen food, and I don't want to, like, overdo that. Speaking of food, let's go and attack... Oh, wow. Because I waited, actually, the Carthaginians got more men to assist with the fighting. It's a pretty harsh army, actually. Some Scutari, spearmen, some good cavalry. Although the infantry really is not going to compare. This is like my best army, so I feel very confident in the supremacy of my troops. It's just they do outnumber me heavily. Can we get close enough to help with the fighting? I think so. Now this is like going to be a pretty one-sided affair over here. This clash in the desert. Go kind of put this navy here. I mean, I think with those reinforcements, we'll be at a slight advantage in both fights. I actually do want to take the settlement, so let's go ahead and fight this Carthaginian force. I fully anticipate to be able to win easily here. But garrison force is quite small, and while they do have a small corps of professionals, including elephants, for whatever outlandish reason, we're going up against a quite sophisticated army here. I mean, I have 6 pike units in total. Actually, I really like the flexible formation we've adopted, besides how hastily deployed the Agrionians are. And I mean, actually, you know what? I like kind of like the formation of the phalanxes, besides. Actually, I'll keep them deep. Actually, no, why would I? That would be an idiotic decision. Let's have a center of pikes, the lighter peltas pikes on the flanks, hoplites kind of in the back. They can plug whatever gaps emerge, of course. Here, Thessalians in the back. Of course, archers. I never have them in the very front. Just safer to have them behind. That's not really like a science that you need to follow or anything, but I think of this formation is just going to be a lot more flexible, even if it is kind of skewed towards one side over the other. Towards the right, of course, we have 3 units of Agrionians, but look at these beauties. I mean, this is one of the reasons I was thinking about the Macedonian campaign these last few weeks. I mean, just look at how awesomely adorned this army is. It is gorgeous. The pikes, the Peltas pikes are so cool. So I have to go focus up. I'm getting close to the edge of missile range. Once we get within that range, the enemy will start becoming more active. Of course, my Cretan archers are very short range archers. In Divide et Impera, like the base game, they have like literally like the shortest range out of like basically any archer. But they have extremely fast shooting bows, or like machine guns also. I think each archer should really try to like take on javelin men. Oh, there's like it's elephants, right? You know, like having some javelins and arrows hit the elephants. It's not going to kill them very quickly, but each and every single barrage helps whittle down their health until they're actually no longer as combat effective. I mean, damn, the elephant already went down. They're already losing cohesion. Not good for the enemy. And of course, these javelin men, they don't like being hit by these professional Cretan archers who are just showering them. Unbelievable Numbers of volleys. Okay, let's go. We're bracing our men for combat. Our units are more defensive in nature, so I'm going to let the enemy come to us, particularly because I don't believe that the enemy have that many javelins to support their efforts here. My pikes should be able to eliminate the elephants fair. It's good that the elephants are out of control, because otherwise they shouldn't have chosen such an ill-considered venture. Yeah, the elephants are dying in large numbers. Carthaginian cavalry unit that came to support also got broken, with many of her men slain. Yeah, if those elephants weren't rampaging around, they would be running from the field, for they are screwed. And now, I think it's just time to allow my Agrionians to run amongst the Carthaginians and cut them down. Treat them like the carrion that they are. Let's see, clash with my expert pikemen going in amongst poorly armored tribesmen. My Agrionians, of course, running around, being as merciless as they usually are. I'll go send these veteran hoplites in amongst the enemy. Get some high charge units going in. My Cretans will continue bathing the enemy in missiles, and I see the enemy general, and I think we can go lance him with my Thessalians. I mean, this is a pretty disciplined unit of elite cavalry on good horses, well trained for combat. It should go in amongst this command unit and tear them to shreds. In fact, we can also support with another unit of Thessalians if we could just get there in time for the enemy general. So it's winning his confrontation, of course. Over time, he will. Yeah, I think many of the enemy units, a lot of them more militia-style units, just aren't capable of really fighting in such combat. Just a lot of them are dropping quite quickly, although we're losing Agrionians in this fight on the right flank. But in the center, the enemy has basically just gotten slaughtered, like... I mean, you could see, if it wasn't for the passivity of my pike strategy, there'd be a lot more dead Carthaginians than there already are. But yeah, I think at this point, it's kind of time to like wrap this up. So many men fleeing the field that doing anything else would just be prolonging the inevitable here. Carthage has lost this settlement, and it's just the first to fall. Just at the end of the day, like, we didn't want to form an actual military alliance with me, only a defensive alliance, so decided, I'll go take them out. Besides, I also did just want the entire province of Africa to myself. It's ripe agricultural territory, just absolutely fantastic agricultural territory. And there we go. Boom, bada boom. Carthaginians wasted. Of course, this is not in Africa, but of course, the reason I'm talking about Africa is because it is kind of like an inevitable thing when you're taking over this province, right? You're going to take over Africa. Now, this province in the north, I am going to go take it over. I'm not going to liberate it, for I do desire it. I do covet it. I want to turn it into my most southernmost military province. Go ahead and loot settlements. And I guess we can go ahead and fight this battle. Yes, my two armies are combining. You know what? If my two armies combine, this should be a quite easy affair. Now, I do like that we're fighting against a fully stocked Carthaginian garrison. This will make it a little bit more interesting, but because we have two actual armies in the field, I feel like I undeniably have a significant advantage here. The only thing is that when you have so many reinforcements coming in, the deployment is a little bit odd. But you know what? We know that our reinforcements are going to come from here, so if we take all of our army and just stick them right here, then my reinforcements will join right up. But there's absolutely no risk, so let's just go risk-free since I'm super advantaged. And yeah, we'll have all of our men kind of show up here. Oh, they're Thessalian mounts. Okay. I don't see... Actually, there you go. Those are some Carthaginians. Let's go ahead and surprise the Carthaginian cavalry of the main army. I mean, it looks like they're coming, kind of like just coming in randomly. It will contain the enemy elephants, which is really the only risk to this cavalry attack by me, but I don't really care that much. Like, we have better cavalry than Carthage. Carthage has cost-effective cavalry. I have good cavalry. Like, we're gonna go ahead and rip this unit to shreds. I mean, honestly, like, I'm gonna get such a solid fight on this unit. Like, maybe I should just take it. Basically, just killed a bunch of nobles for the price of nothing. And just fall back now. I do have some men, but it went a little bit overzealous. And yeah, let's just pull back. Every single man at this point has to have his mount swiveled around. Okay, let's go ahead and just start forming ranks here. 5 Ajima, 6. Okay, got way too close. Man, I just didn't set up my army. I was just like, I was so focused on the cavalry engagement. That's silly. To be fair, I am just confident. Got a general unit, a sacred squadron into a unit of honestly pretty feckless troops. Oh jeez. Throw your javelins, Thracians, and see whether you can land a throw on a naked elephant. And the rest of the enemy kind of just minding their own business, I guess. And obviously the elephants are just going crazy. This unit will kind of just go in. Go. It's like overkill. I don't even need that many. Then, yeah, that light cavalry unit kind of skirted away. Definitely don't need to do that anymore. And yeah, there we have it. Absolute domination. I mean, if the enemy wants to continue to skirmish, I won't even bother to assemble my men into coherent lines just yet. Oh, I see another unit of elephants. Okay. A little bit out of my micro, but let's go ahead. Let's start to develop coherent line structures. And lost some generic archers. Oh crap. Didn't realize how far my general had gone. Okay, let's go ahead and start getting our cavalry involved. Clearly, we've overstepped with my general, and now we have to rescue him. Manufactured my own problem. Got him expired. And the good thing is that he's actually not engaged against anything powerful. It's like a light cavalry and stuff. These guys engaged. Oh crap, what? What did I tell these guys to go? You're giving them bizarre orders that make no sense at all. Chance to escape on my general. Absolutely do. We run. Nice. Man, I'm so confused by where I commanded my cavalry to go. Besides that one unit, withdrawing everything. So much overextension and just like weird stuff that my cavalry is doing. Man, I am really out of shape when it comes to this game, but it is making the battle more challenging. Yeah, I really shouldn't have gotten these guys to overextend themselves. I have been playing some Empire Total War too, and I'm totally just making mistakes that would not at all haunt you in Empire, but in this game are obviously like really, really stupid. Different era of warfare, an organized era of warfare compared to the ancients, frankly. But you know what, let's stop doing it. Also, to be fair, this is a massive battle, even when I'm reasonably playing. This would prove somewhat difficult, but we need to go start making heroic efforts with our... with some of our units. Okay, this unit has javelins, so yeah, we definitely do want to kill them at some point. Yeah, my center is like really, really weak. Let's run some heavy troops in. I forgot, you could totally dismount these elite cavalry units. They do just as well. Once you tell them to dismount, they're excellent swordsmen. Just takes a second for them to get off of their horses and for them to kind of like organize into ranks, but against a Carthaginian militia or whatever, we'll just tear the enemy to shreds. And I think with the added weight of so many additional units, should be starting to cut through the enemy. It's just, you know, we need to kind of get my men to converge upon the center. So we'll spam out attack orders on fronts, which is going to actually participate in. I think some of the more militia level units that the Carthaginians are starting to break. And the Carthaginians did take a lot of cavalry losses earlier. But yeah, like units like, say, this Carthaginian militia, if they ever work cut out for them, my men have 37 weapon damage against a paltry 14. Like, we're going to be cutting through the enemy while they can barely bonk for our extremely heavy armor. Third is up against the very best that Macedon could possibly supply. The most aggressive and wealthy of the nobles. They will be cutting through the enemy. It's over here, these Carthaginians. They're on an island. Each unit of Sacred Band's going to have to take so many enemy on. Is there really a chance? I don't think so. So out of this one unit, every single unit's going to target Sacred Band. Well, this unit's going to go target that Sacred Band. Swivel these two archers over here. I mean, yeah, I'm just kind of having my generals just munch upon weak units of the garrison. And okay, I could see just breakthroughs happening on this flank as well. We have now some mercenary Thracian warriors that have freed up. And yeah, it's really only just elite hoplites left, which it's a primarily pike army. What real use is that? This Carthaginian army has met its maker. Now, I don't think that I did the most killed the most people. Like, certainly several professional units of Carthaginians will escape from this battle. But we absolutely gave them, like, a handing to. Like, they lost that battle decisively, for sure. And we'll take Thapsos. That's really all that matters. Go raise the settlement so we can quickly build it up. Yeah, a nice little fishing settlement with, of course, the potential for public order as well. Only really Carthage is left. Although, to be fair, I mean, is there really anything that's going to increase fishing? Like, this doesn't improve fishing income. This is the Poseidon one. Like seriously, like, what use would there really be? No, it's... Go ahead, fishing village, it's fine. Okay, like, those two armies have moved, this army has moved. Arby's moved. Yeah, this one is just gonna like stay put. This guy's gonna start searching. For what? I don't really know. Right, I did want to kill the Thracian pirates, and they continue to evade me, but now it is finally time. Go ahead and sink those ships. I do like fighting naval battles. They're a bit derpy in Rome too, but they've always had their charm, their immense charm. And the Thracian pirates, they will be taken down decisively. Now, I do want to go and have my large ships really at the forefront of my assault. Just a long line, because you can see here that enemy, they're kind of lined up just kind of straight. So, I mean, my belief is that if I have my heaviest ships just go forth and ram the enemy at the most aggressive tempo possible, then we will probably sink the most ships that we can at once. I'm not saying that that's going to always happen. Some of my ships are a little wimpy, but I think in general, this is about to do like devastating damage. Like absolutely, this murdered enemy. We'll have these guys kind of come around to edge and have these guys maybe sit in the back or whatever. Yeah, you can see what's flags is dropping. This is the power of a civilized navy. Problem is that, of course, the civilized navy is a little bit, little hard to maneuver sometimes. But with so many pirates seeing the bottom of the ocean already, I think it's like pretty clear that they're not going to make it out alive, and the rest just surrendered, gave up. Gave up the chase, the pursuit of glory, try to save her lives. But yeah, obviously, that was like a systematic annihilation that we inflicted upon those petulant pirates. Rats they are! Ocean-born rats. You know what? We'll release them, though. For even if they are rats, we are merciful. Kinda. Sometimes. Anyway, we'll go ahead and send this navy back to Thrace to recuperate. And yeah, definitely a good thing to destroy the piracy. Useless people at all times. Let's see. Public order negative. That doesn't matter. Squalor negative. Doesn't matter. Upgrade. Food. Upgrade. For those two, absolutely worth it. I mean, it's a lot of money, obviously. Yeah, I'm not doing any upgrading over in Thrace just yet. Definitely not yet. Again, I also did want to like make some diplomatics to overtures with these Berber powers. Maybe, oh, we already have a non-aggression pact. Military access? Sure. And yeah, we're good. What about the Macedon? We already have no, yeah, military access, whatever. That's good stuff. But honestly, like, it's honestly good stuff that we have so far. So yeah, let's kind of deal with these peoples. With the Carthaginians. Ooh. Medusa had warriors. Where are they? Okay, it's my elite army. The first one that they'll have. Get the spear one, and I believe that this army has plenty of skirmish power too with Cretan archers. Let's get the skirmish trait. And yeah, the Carthaginians, they've lost 2 settlements thus far. It's been kind of a lightning strike, and their allies have abandoned them. Definitely not good prospects for the Carthaginians. So we should be able to march on Carthage without too many issues with our 2 accomplished, massive armies that are treading to the northern tip of Africa here. But of course, simultaneously, I'm not too concerned about the Ptolemaic thrust. I thought it would get a little bit closer to my territory, but no. But at the same time, like, the Carthaginians are clearly moving troops from Numidia and Iberia towards their home city, so I do expect the Carthaginians to attack me again, but that victory at Thapsos definitely was a huge one. So we had near similarly sized armies, you know, we got the better of them, and of course we did have a garrison in that, but they're a weaker power, so kind of expect us to have the advantage. Oh, maybe not in our home territory, we did just get to Africa. Anyway, Sicilians are asking me to turn on my client state. Honestly, I don't really care if it's like I don't really care about who owns Sicily. I just don't want Sicily to be a concern for me, really. Military development. Researching military stuff right now. Cool. Forex innovation spread. Don't believe what that really impacts me. And finally, with some development in Macedon. Yeah, I did want kind of taskmaster trait improved. We can also get that one. 1 turn till we have that. Let's see, Acras. Really? Okay. Interesting. Okay, well, it looks like Syracuse has pretty much cleaned house. I don't know, man. Seem a bit aggressive here. I'm gonna be honest, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have to put them down. Meanwhile, I definitely did want to leave this general here a little bit longer, but I think that he's needed over into south. But maybe make the Syracusans reconsider any real attack on me. Yeah, we'll move him around a little bit. Maybe make a new general to go sit over here in Macedon. Do we have anybody of interest? Any maybe heir or just somebody who should be considered for leadership? This guy's a general. This guy's a general. Any of these children old enough? Supposedly not. And I do not see an unmarried woman. Oh, but this guy doesn't have anyone. This Diocles, a politician. I could adopt him. Now he's kind of under my control. And he's got 2 kids as well. Excellent. Now let's see what we can get here. Ooh, we definitely want spear-armed units to be beneficial. Don't care about ships. Don't want to minus morale. I want to make this army strong. Armor. I like this one too. Nice. Okay, so let's just go ahead and recruit him in Pella then. Diocles, perfect. It's going to be the last general I can recruit at my current level of Imperium. And yeah, we'll just have him like kind of camp out here. Next, for this army, we are just chilling here. Now, I did want to... Yeah, just a second-class population building. So let's go ahead and build that. And yeah, otherwise, just get a nice little temple going. It's probably best for a military province. Yeah, 20 out of 20 unit thing for here. So I don't know, man. Like, we could try to take Carthage right away, but I feel like it would be a bit of an error. Just on the other hand, we don't have any more armies coming over here. We have 4 armies in the field in Africa. It should be enough already. It's not like my armies are like cut down to pieces or anything. Maybe we should just go engage the Carthaginians as aggressively as we can. After all, we have a navy here too. Like, we can really keep the Carthaginians closed in. Okay, that's going to make population a lot happier. Okay. I mean, it looks like we're in actually a pretty good position for the end of his turn. Yeah, there's really nothing else that we need to do. Oh, I could never trade overture to the Syracusans. I don't really want to fight them, to be honest. Ooh, let's go trade with the Icedi. That was a juicy little trade agreement. A little cheeky one. And yeah, there we have it. I mean, we are exorbitantly wealthy in this campaign, so we have no shortage of income to spend on our little projects and to increase things. But, ooh, the Carthaginians coming in with a navy. Not to fight against an actual force capable of defending itself, but to sack a newly taken city. This is a poor decision from the Carthaginians. To be completely and entirely honest, it is, because this navy is going to be trapped now. I mean, actually, maybe not, because they didn't take the settlement. If they take the settlement, the navy is trapped. If they just, like, raided it or sacked it or whatever you want to call it, then shouldn't. A little bit of skirmishing there, a little bit of aggression. But yeah, they just sacked it. I wonder if we go chase their navy with our navy, what's going to happen? Because it looks like that Carthaginian navy was maybe 15 vessels or 16 vessels. So we'll outnumber them, and, well, I think my navy's better. I actually don't know. It depends on which ships I invested in. I gotta go check this out. Let's go see whether this is a naval engagement worth taking. It looks like the Carthaginians will offer battle navally. We so choose to engage in that. Of course, that raid is going to destabilize my position in Africa a bit, but it doesn't really matter. I don't really want to be allies with those guys, but we already do have some agreements set up, and honestly, I do want to deal with the Carthaginians before I deal with them. It'll be easier. Now, let's go ahead and see whether this increases my cavalry at all, anywhere. Like, I'm not able to upgrade this. If I, like, recruit cavalry, it doesn't do anything here. Level 1 horse. So, is it only, like, in this province? Like, say I go... Oh, okay. So I can upgrade if I go here to level 1 horse. Can't even recruit cavalry in this province. I can't really test it out all that much. It looks like is it really worth having in like a vaguely agricultural province? From farming. Yeah, let's go get the meat one. That's like the better building for this province, but it was nice to kind of check it out. Truthfully, we need to get that building over in Macedon, so it doesn't really matter. Is there anything in Greece that I would actually want to recruit? Not really. It's already like late game. I have no need for any of those lower tier troops. We want our Macedonian core troops. Fapsos and yeah, just some stuff over in Africa. Let's go see whether, like, first of all, let's go ahead and kind of retreat away from this, and then what about 15 800. So these are kind of like medium-sized vessels and some light ones down here, and these guys are light as well. Yeah, it doesn't look like the... I mean, it looks like these are pretty solid. Like, they're very nimble vessels, but they're not the strongest. Meanwhile, I have, like, huge vessels. Yeah, the Carthaginians know that they are about to get obliterated navally. The great aquatic might. Great maritime empire challenged by Macedonians. Who did have a pretty strong navy in their heyday, to be fair. And yeah, we just have humongous, expensive ships here. Yeah, you can see the size of our vessels. I mean, look at our principal beauty of a vessel here. Look at it, just teeming with sailors, bristling with power. And then just like average vessels here, just humongous hulled warships compared to, you know, the typical vessel of the Carthaginian fleet here, which is not nearly as much, although well staffed when it comes to sailors. Now, let's get all of our biggest ships just into center. We're kind of like a great ram. Let's go ahead and get our missile units kind of behind. Our supply ship can go row away the moment the fighting starts, and I can see that our smaller assault vessels are going to, I don't know, hold the flanks perhaps? We can do that. And our tiny ones will kind of just be in the center as kind of like this little supportive effort, and go ahead, start pushing forward. We want to ram our big ships into their kind of significantly weaker assault ships. But even along the flanks, I have a size advantage. I mean, we can go ahead and fight the general and... Ooh, one hit kills! That is tragic for the Carthaginians to lose their best ships so quickly. Okay, I can see the cost of having these huge vessels now. Because you can't, like, pull back far enough to actually ram the enemy. Yeah, vessel's, like, almost done. But the good thing is that a lot of these enemy ships at this point have been obliterated, so not like that bad. Can I just board them? Swaying with listlessly. Okay, Carthaginians are done. We did lose a couple of vessels, unfortunately, but what can you do? Actually, not even a couple. We lost one, so not that bad. I mean, overall, it looks like my poorly, or rather my ill-conceived naval strategy was ultimately not all that well. Or rather, let's go back. Let's make the words. Let's smith it out. My ill-conceived naval strategy did not fare that poorly against one of the most prolific naval empires of the ancient world, albeit the video game version of that. So yeah, we're doing pretty good on that front. Let's see, like the highest level of agricultural stuff does increase banditry quite a bit. You know what? Let's just build like a farm thing. It's not even a particularly good choice that I made there. Can't I see that that army is considering a good fight? Okay, I mean, I think that we're in reasonable positions here. Man, one day we'll have, like, upgraded cavalry in Macedonia itself. Of course, this unit already has, like, Thessalian mounts or whatever, so it's already a bit of an upgrade. Yeah, we don't really need it's like Spartan hoplites. They don't really do anything too special. That's a cool name. Okay. Let's move on to the next turn. Virginians looks like we're pulling troops around, but I don't see anything that looks significant enough to impact me besides that huge army that's already around Carthage itself. Okay. You know, obviously we enter war on the side of our ally, even though I know that the Armenians are quite powerful in this particular playthrough. You know, we have an army watching over Thrace, where it meets Asia Minor, so if any enemy troops want to spill over, we'll catch them right into act. We'll be able to beat him back, and I can always raise ample armies in Macedon itself, because Macedonia is where my military elite live, so I should be able to deal with them. We'll raise a good army to put him in the grave. And one more turn, folks, or rather, perhaps not even a turn, because I don't really think we can play the Battle of Carthage. We've already kind of gone to the hour point, and I don't want to play for another 30-40 minutes, and it's going to be an epic fight, a truly titanic struggle, and ooh, you have to go and give a rival family some power here. Always go for synchronism. Okay, well, it looks like a Macedonian noble was already in charge, so it doesn't really change anything else. And it's cool that this guy gained some more prowess. What type of army does he have? Pikes, swords. No more Rome to fight. Line of sight's pretty good, but... And of course, upgrade those two traits, they're always useful. I mean, Carthage is extremely well supplied from the shore. You know, we'll play out the turn until essentially the battle itself. And you know what? We'll go one more turn before we start the fight. Or perhaps we just go for it. Oh, what's the point of waiting? We do outnumber the Carthaginians quite considerably, don't we? We already have 2 ladders. We already have like a navy close by. Yeah, we'll go out and fight the Carthaginians at the beginning of next episode. Everything's fine there. Yeah, don't really want to upgrade anything just yet. But you know what? We can send this army over to the north. Let's see, where is the closest Armenian? Who are we actually at war with? Just Armenians. None of our allies. It's going to get dragged into that because this faction is actually quite large considering how weak we typically are. Yeah, looks like we're over in like the eastern side of Pontus. So we're still, I mean, they're close by. Actually, they are pretty freaking close. You know what? The Armenians have awful navies, like just terrible. Just gotta float around here and see whether we can maybe liberate some of these settlements, get ourselves some allies at virtually no risk to ourselves. If they're all gonna be within trading distance, we can easily get some allies that way. Meanwhile, this army, we did say we wanted to send it over, but to be fair, it's a very bad decision to send these guys over during the winter. It'll take attrition for sure, so let's not do that. This army is kind of full. So, like, what about, like, spies and agents? Yeah, we do have all of them recruited. I wonder where, at this point, are, like, my warriors? Oh, they're both over here. Well, it kind of makes sense to have it on this army. This army, not really, but whatever. This doesn't make a huge difference. So yeah, guys, to be continued. This epic battle between my elite Macedonian forces and the final forces of Carthage in Africa will be settled at the beginning of next episode. So stay tuned, and I'll see you all later. Thank you for watching.